I forgot to record an intro, so here's the intro to all the things that are about to happen. Hello there. I'm recording this right after finishing the last video because, as you can see, I'm ready to get started on this car. I literally just finished the last video like 30 minutes ago or something. I'm ready to get going. I decided to do something new with customer cars that come in. I really want to know a lot more information, a lot more data about the car in the shape it arrives. I learned a lot of lessons with Tyler's car, and I just want to make sure that I know what I'm getting into right from the get-go, and so does the customer. We are going to use a consult. In the actual shop manual, especially with electrical troubleshooting, it talks about the consult. And back in the 90s, someone developed the consult, which was a knockoff. I mean, we're talking like Windows XP, Windows 95. I still have my original consult cable, and it was a serial connection to computers. And then computers lost serial connection, so I had to get a USB adapter. And then I think it was somewhere around Windows 8, that particular chipset for the USB adapter like isn't supported anymore. And I'm running Windows 10 on my laptop. I can't get that cable to work anymore. I totally forgot until recently. Concept Z Performance makes a consult cable, and it's USB, and it totally works perfectly with all the new operating systems. So we're gonna hook it up, run a diagnostic on the car, and check all the things out before we even touch anything and disable the car. Let me get this console cable hooked up real quick, and then we'll fire things up. So the console works on the, I don't think they work on the 96s, which were OBD2, but these are OBD1, and that is plugs right into your OBD1 port. The OBD1 port on a Z is like right, where is it? It's up here. It's hidden up here. So you just plug this into that and then run it to the laptop. So let me get that all connected and then we'll check things out. All right, got the cable all connected from down there to up to here. And it only took a week for me to do that. It's been a week. When I was filming that earlier, I could not find the console port on the car. It just wasn't there. It physically wasn't there. And then I got busy with fence building and doing other farm things. Finally took the interior apart on the Red Z here, and someone had disconnected the console port from the chassis of the car and tucked it back behind a bunch of wires and tucked it into like the fuse box area. Don't know why that was a thing. Nothing else was disconnected or rerouted. We're in business now. And this is an important part of the business. Like I said, I want to run a diagnostics, and there's also a cool feature we can do before we start to do any work on the engine. Now that I'm all hooked up, I have my Nissan data scan software going, and right now it's not recognizing anything, so I need to start the car. We're trying to do this quick because there is a huge storm coming in. It's gonna be crazy dumping rain apparently in about a couple hours. Let's get this going. We're gonna go ahead and connect to the car's computer. And boom, we are now connected. We can do data display, which gives us all these cool gauges so we can see like where the RPM is, water temp, battery. I mean, we can see everything that's going on with the injectors, the timing. Timing's pretty high right now just because it's in its cold start cycle. And this is really good too, to see the throttle voltage is where it's supposed to be. That means that the actual throttle position sensor is in the right place. And yeah, we can see the statuses of all kinds of things going on. And let's go to self-diagnostics. And that's really cool to see. We got a code 55, which means there are no faults right now with the engine. Everything's running fine. We're not throwing any codes, so that's cool. We could reset the ECU, but there's no reason in doing that because we got a code 55. So we'll go back into active tests. And since we know we have a code 55, there's no reason to really do this, but if you've ever done a power balance test yourself where you disconnect each coil pack one at a time to see if the cylinder's working, we can actually do that right here, just clicking on the number 1 cylinder and then go to start. And you can hear that change. And we can go through every cylinder and do that power balance test right here, which is super cool. Like it's super helpful. There's all kinds of cool stuff we can do. I mean, we can reset the learning on the computer and all this stuff. But the thing I want to do before I start doing anything else is we can clear the whole fuel system by just simply going up here and shutting off the fuel pump and hit start. And she did. She done. Super successful. Go ahead and hit stop on that. I'm gonna close this out, and we're still connected because the key is on. That's super helpful because since we're about to break open the fuel lines, we now know that there won't be any pressure or any fuel in here because it would have just consumed everything it could have consumed from the fuel pump forward until it finally put itself to sleep. Now that we've got that ready and we know that the car is coming in with no faults and we see the data and everything's looking super healthy and awesome, it's just time to get to work now. Have been pulled out. Boom. Needed to get all this stuff done. Is it the first thing I needed to do? No, it's not the first thing I needed to do, but it gives me an opportunity to kind of show you some other things that are going on that we're also going to be working on, and it gives you a lot more perspective. Let's just say you wanted to install this blow-off kit. You would have to do all of this and wrangling around the AC lines and all the other things. And by the way, what bonehead mechanic did that? You know, I always try to think about future me. If I'm working on a car and I have a good feeling it may come back someday. And yeah, I did myself. I did myself. So I can't finish getting these last tubes out until the radiator comes out and the AC moves forward a little bit so I can get to those and then I'll pull them out. But I wanted to show you this kit real quick. So here's the kit, here's the tubes, the Z1 kit. It's got the flanges welded on to the middle tubes. A pair of these gorgeous little guys are gonna be going on. If I remember right, they sit on the inside like this, like that kinda. Taking stock of what's here, we got the couplers, we got a bag of hose clamps, and then we got these caps. These caps are essential because once we pull the old recircs out, we have to plug the recirc back into the intake and we have to plug from the boost tubes itself. Rubber gloves over any openings so nothing can drop in. If you recall, I talked about pulling the hood of the Green Z down, the radiator core support down. Lazarus has the same problem where the hood doesn't sit flush with everything else going on, the headlights and the nose panel and everything else. I'm gonna show you why, because it's very, very obvious with everything still in the car. That's what you don't wanna do in a Z. You do not wanna jack your car up in the front on the radiator core support. You see how crushed in it is at the bottom. Crushed in so much, it actually crushed in the air compressor condenser. And if you look from this perspective here, it's just so obviously bowed up. And because this is bowed up, you cannot lower this enough, and now the hood only closes so far. As we did with the Pink Z, we are gonna be pulling this whole thing back down too. And it's a little bit of a caveman effort, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna get this car straightened out, get that radiator core support straightened out. And to do that, we have to remove the oil cooler. I'm not doing that now because it's still got oil in it and oil in the lines, and we need to drain all the fluids and we need to do all the things. And my favorite, your favorite, everybody's favorite, the sadness. And that's what I'm gonna start doing now. I'm gonna start draining all the things, take the sadness out of the car, getting the engine ready to pull out, and I'll see you when it's ready, because you don't wanna see me. You don't wanna see me wallow in the sadness. Nobody wants to see that, not at all. Damn it! Oh. guys, it's just now 2 o'clock, and I even stopped for some lunch and hung out with my wife for a while. 3, maybe 4 hours in, and yeah, like, she's about ready to dance. Everything's been removed off of both sides. Everything in the front has been removed. Still got to do accessories. Obviously, starter, exhaust, drive shaft, engine mounts, transmission mount, and then boop, it's just it's that easy. I also took the liberty of going ahead and removing those 2 hoses since I had the access to do so. And guys, also, I just want to talk about this. Why does BC immaculately clean every build he ever does? Because when they come back like this, bro, this is it. All of this, that's it. Nothing, dust. It's so much more enjoyable to work on. It's just, it is what it is. It's easy day, easy day. It does appear that it's got a new alternator since the last time I had it. And then I still am tracking down or trying to track down a power steering leak. I have a feeling it's probably that connection right down there that's leaking, or somewhere in the underneath. Just in the time that this car has sat with me, it's lost pretty much all of its power steering fluid. It's making the, you know, that noise. We'll fix it. So anyway, I'm just gonna chill out probably for the rest of the day. I'm probably not gonna work underneath today. I'm gonna probably tackle that first thing in the morning when I'm fresh and ready to do so. Not my favorite. Can't wait to get my lift. Not gonna lie. Probably for the rest of today, just work on disconnecting all the accessories and getting all that stuff out. Yeah, I'll meet up with you tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Awesome. And then we'll start getting everything disconnected from underneath, and then we'll just pull the engine out and wait for the turbos to get here, which should be here probably soon. One other thing before I let you go, man. I know it sounds like I got a lot of energy, but believe it or not, I have had a cold for the last few days and not been feeling well. And maybe you've seen this in the background, but last night I was just feeling like dragging dog butt, man. I was not feeling well. And yeah, started building the engine. Bottom end's all sealed up. Oil trees on there, looking fabulous. Heads are good. Upper intake manifold, all that stuff. Got the NOx sensor coming out the back. Yeah, just doing the work, man. I just wanted to show you that real quick because, to be honest, I'm still not feeling 100%. And like I said, I don't want to crawl under Lazarus tonight. So I'm probably gonna keep working on this engine as well tonight. Get all the front on, probably all the timing stuff, water pump and all that stuff. And then it's just a matter of valve covers, intake plenum, putting the turbos on, and she'll be ready to party, man. So this is probably gonna change between now and tomorrow when I see you again. So I just wanted to give you a little update.
2,000 years later.
It's been 2 weeks since that last clip. If you remember, I said I wasn't feeling too well. Well, yeah, I ended up having a pretty bad cold for about 4 days, just feeling really terrible. And maybe it's allergies, maybe it was a cold, and maybe it's a combination of both, because yeah, I was not feeling well, and then all of a sudden, all the pollen started coming off the trees onto everything, and it's been kind of a miserable 2 weeks, but a lot has also been going on. What hasn't been going on is I have not received the turbos yet for Project Lazarus. They said 2-week turnaround. 3 weeks have passed since they received them. I gotta reach out to them. And in the meantime, the owner of the car and I have been talking about even more things. He's in a situation where he can kind of just get everything done at once. So I just recently ordered a black leather interior innovations kit for the car to do the seats, all the trimming and all the things. So that should be coming sometime in the next few weeks, and then we'll get on that. While I was sick, I did stay busy. Like I said, I was gonna be working on this ever so slowly and just jamming out to music. And yeah, man, got the whole front back together. Don't have the belt on yet, but even took the time to like polish up the freaking sprockets and stuff. And yeah, she's looking clean. She's looking great. Everything's coming along really well. As always, using my manual. A lot of people ask me where I get a manual like this. Boys and girls, I've had this manual for 25, 26 years. I bought it from the dealership. I knew the guy that worked at the parts counter. Bought it in like 2000, 2001, back when they still had them in stock. This book in those days cost me $350, $365. It's paid for itself a billion times over. Next steps is to get the timing stuff done. We're doing some work on the top to really make this thing pop. So all the valve covers will be done in the same pink as the car, which I've already ordered that and the clear. And then the upper plenum will be powder coated chrome. Just today, I received the powder coat from Prismatic. That is gonna happen. It is gonna look sharp, dude. I ordered some swatches from them first to just kind of really see what it would look like, and it's gonna look great. Since this is kind of what I'm working on with the Pink Z, there was no reason for the Pink Z to be in here anymore because I've done everything I can do on the body of the car, and it's time to just move it out, put it back into storage so it's out there in the barn covered up and being safe and cool and fine and hanging out and just waiting until everything comes together. I do have the Stagey in here today because I need to get her prepped for a road trip. I'm actually leaving for South Carolina tomorrow, the day this video is coming out, and I'm gonna go hang out with my brother and his best friend for a couple days in South Carolina and play golf and drink beer and just go have some guy time. So yeah, during these last 2 weeks, I was sick, I was working on all these things, there was a break in the weather, and I just went ahead and sent it on a project I've been procrastinating on for 2.5 years, and that is to build a new well house for the sole purpose of making it taller in order to fit a water filtration system I bought 2.5 years ago that's just been sitting in a closet. And I'll show you that here in just a second. I'm pretty proud of the way it turned out, and it's still not done, but it looks pretty good. Then we had family in town. Mrs. BC's aunt and her partner, they were here for about 4 days. Great visit. Yeah, let's wrap it up. We'll just do a little farm update, and then we'll say goodbye. Miss BC bought some trees today. Be putting more trees in. Fixing to get another dumpster here soon, which will be great. Hey, ladies. What's up? What's up, dude? That's Hoppin' Euro. He's cool. He's a cool guy. He's chuckling. He's having a good time. So this thing, it used to be about 4 feet tall. The water filtration system I have is like 5 feet tall. And so I made this 6 feet tall. So yeah, completely tore down the old structure, reused the frame of the roof, but then let's see if I can pop you up here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, first time ever shingling something, so that was cool. Word of advice, don't shingle a roof while the roof is on the ground and then expect to get it up there, because it turns out to be really heavy. My tractor was lifting this thing fine until I put shingles on, and then I was in trouble. So I had to science this. Like ancient Egyptians rolling rocks uphill. Anyway, inside, start insulating and putting board. Then I'm gonna be running electrical out here, redo this filter system. So the new filter system and all that stuff will sit here. It'll have a sediment, a big filter, and then a UV ray, and then there'll be lights. And this is the pressure tank if you've never seen a well. Mount this box over here. Plenty of room for activities, man. I'm pretty happy with the way this structure turned out. Took me about 3 or 4 days, maybe 4 or 5. I don't know, but it was tiresome. Yeah, man, that's what I've been up to. That is what I've been up to. Why are you chuckling? You want to say hi? Things are getting green. It's good times. Good times. All right, boys and girls. Like I said, still waiting on the parts for Project Lazarus. Still waiting on some stuff with the Pink Z, but I have enough things on hand to finish most of the engine. Gonna get that powder coating done here in the next couple days, and then just get that all finished and buttoned up. But once the last few odds and ends arrive, then we'll mate those two together and get the Lady Z out of here, man. Hopefully by the time I get back from my trip to my brother, the turbos for Lazarus have come in, so I can go ahead and pull the engine, get that part of the job done, and then start deconstructing the interior to do the leather kit when that arrives. So the next time we're together, that's what we're gonna be doing, all that other stuff I just talked about. I'm gonna do some service, make sure everything's good to go. We got about a 4.5, 5 hour trip tomorrow. And why am I taking the Stagey? Why not? It's been a while since I've been on a good road trip with the Stagey, and Mrs. BC needs my truck. She's actually picking up a hive of bees tomorrow. Last time she did it in her minivan, and that was disastrous. So I said, yeah, take the truck. I'll take the Stagey. Why not? That'll be fun. So, all right. Ciao a tutti and aloha. Love your face. Bye-bye.